project, but get your yarn, practice, take it out, practice, take it out. Okay, so another project I'm working on today, these are grippies. This is a textured shelf liner, and I'm using purple yarn just to make a decorative stitch around the edge. And this stitch, I'm just going to use a single crochet. So I'm just putting the hook through, picking up the yarn, pulling the hook through, and pulling the yarn through. Now this one I want to make a loop so the customer can hang it up if they wish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that loop on this corner. And that way I don't need to try to incorporate it later. Get some yarn loose here. And this grippy can be used for opening bottles, jars. I like to even use it on my soda and my bottled water because sometimes the ridges on the caps they're not sharp, but they hurt your hand when you're trying to really grip and twist. They feel sharp. That's the only description I can give. So this is a grippy. This is just regular 4-weight yarn. So these holes are kind of small, so it is a little challenging to get the hook through, get the yarn, and pull it through. But we're going to continue that around the whole border. And this hook is a, let me see what size it is, 3.75. It's an F hook. The size number is 5. F hook, size number 5, 2.75. This decorative stitching, you can use any kind of yarn or thread that you wish. Notice that this yarn is pretty thick, so it's getting these stitches right next to each other. If you want more spacing or more decorative stitch, you can use a smaller yarn, and then you'll have more space to work with in the hole and along the edge. I do sell these in my shop. I have a variety of colors. If you're interested in buying any. And this video is being made in 2022, so hopefully the shop is still up and running when you're viewing this video. You just never know as time goes by. And this shelf liner is pretty sturdy. I have one of these grippers in my kitchen, and I've used it several times, and it still is working amazingly. It's great for jars, you know, like a jar of pickles or relish, jelly, peppers, whatever you have. And it's also good for bottles, like water bottles, Gatorade bottles, any kind of twist top. You can even use it on a twist top beer. So this is just going to continue around, and it is going to have this lovely purple. And then as it fills in, it just kind of gives a little bit of a ripple. That's fine. Okay, now the other project I'm working on today is a hat. So I'm currently working on the headband part of the hat that will go around the forehead of the neck, and this is just using a single crochet. So the band will be like this, and then the hat portion will come up from the band. It is a two-part project, meaning the band will be created and then the hat portion will be started on the band, and then the band ends will be connected together, and the hat portion will be crocheted in the round onto the band. Today I'm working with Impeccable, and the color is teal. This is a 4-weight yarn, and I'm using an H hook. Yes, H 5.0. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be using this stream. I'll do some highlights and then upload to my YouTube channel. So I will break apart the highlights according to the different stitches that I showed you, and then each project. So the first project, this grippy, and then the second project, this hatband. Now, I sometimes have trouble with my edges, so what I'm trying to do is count at the end of each row to make sure that I still have the right count. So this one started with a chain 9, and that results in 8 stitches. So I count that there are still 8 stitches, and then I'm checking the edges to make sure they're pretty consistent and straight. If your tension starts to waver a bit, then the edges can get a little wonky. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it very clearly, but I did start with a different yarn. I had a piece of yarn that was a scrap. It was a small ball that I had made from the last of another skein, and when I was working in low light, I thought I had plenty of the yarn because the green and the teal looked similar in low light, but lo and behold, I did not have enough yarn. So then I added on the Impeccable. There is a very, very slight difference in the color. This one looks like it has a little bit of a black shade to it, but it's not different enough for me to completely stop the project and go try to find out what yarn I originally started with, because I don't have the label for that yarn. So as we carry on, and it's the same weight, it is a 4 yarn. The Impeccable is a 4 yarn, and I didn't want to just tear it out and start over with just Impeccable, because it kind of defeats the purpose of using up the leftover yarns. The hat portion is going to be made with this Red Heart Jumbo Stripes Super Saver, and the color is Parrot. You can see the skein is in a little bit rough shape because I've used it for other projects. So we're going to continue. This is a single crochet, and I will make this band about 21 inches, and that is a standard size to fit a regular size head. The band stretches, so it will accommodate a little bit larger, and if a head is a little bit smaller, then it will just be a little bit loose. Okay, so let's count the stitches again. 8. All right, and then at the end of the row I chain 1 and turn, and you can see this is actually turning out really nice. This is the first time I've used this particular hat pattern, but you can see it stretches, but it's still pretty dense and firm, so it's not going to be stretching and leaving a lot of air between the stitches and then having air and chill on your head. And then this hat, the body of the hat is going to be made with the granny stitch, so hopefully I will be able to add that onto my YouTube channel as well. I'm not sure that I would finish the whole project on the stream, but I can at least give the outline and the basics. And now my yarn is going to tangle. Is it really a project if yarn doesn't tangle at least once? I think not. So you can see the single crochet. It's nice and dense, easy stitch. When you have a longer stitch, it goes by faster, but this is a shorter stitch, so it's going to take longer to get to the length that you need for the hat band, and that's just 21 inches. So the instructions for this hat, the creator was using a different size hook, so that's why I'm saying the measurement, because each size different size hook will result in a different size of stitch. Okay, so I think we will end right here. Let's measure and see, and then also take a look. So you can see there's a little bit of variance on the sides, but it's not really too drastic. And this edge, I think, is looking pretty consistent, so I'll probably use that as the bottom of the hat band. Okay, let's measure. Where did I put my tape measure? It's looking like it's maybe 14 inches. Oh, look at that. We're almost to 15 and a half. Or we have passed 15 and a half, approaching 16. So I'll be at that 21 inch mark before I know it. All right, so let's stop there. And then I will make another video, and you can look for the video replays on my YouTube channel. There is a link in bio. All right, thank you so much. I'll probably be doing the highlights and the uploads later today, so hopefully that'll get done and you can watch the replay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.